Yes, girl. I
Y'all
don't really like it though.
Let me get some.
Got me some
You can't get off that table, girl. You won't fall. You on that table, Nah, girl, them chips stink. I don't want them chips. I don't want them chips.
She ain't gotta eat none.
You, of course, you won't take. You always eating everything. You know what? I'm messing with you anywhere.
Oh, you want the back though?
I told you she don't never give people her their food.
I ain't gonna eat the whole thing like I did last time.
Super old.
Send me around face with your boob. Dang.
I was just showing you my food. She goofy. She gonna eat me first. Don't you see how close she is to me? That's what that she about to fall on me.
I got this.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. What's up?
School. What's up with school?
My chemistry teacher, she
Do I need to make a trip?
yes.
What I need to do?
She like, cause I was in class and everybody was acting a fool. I wasn't even doing it. I was chilling. Called my dad. So I'm gonna punish me.
Did she call anybody else father?
Mm-mm.
What the heck?
It's gonna be a problem.
What was that?
Like, they was like yelling, screaming, running around the classroom.
What the heck?
How old are you?
Like 16, 17.
Running around the class.
Did you tell your dad?
Yes, he was like, well, you should do better in class. I'm not
What?
doing nothing.
Believe
Just
it,
sitting
teacher
there.
said.
Like,
That's crazy.
That's some bullshit.
That's wild. What your teacher look like?
she was like, she's short, blonde hair, white.
Of course.
Should have known. What the other
I don't
Spanish kids
know.
look like?
Like full side black.
Not black.
Oh, it was weird.
So was you the only black one?
Yeah,
That-
like they just,
And it was the other Caucasian kid that's acting up.
yeah,
But she ain't called their people.
no.
But they jumping around them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
So
We need to do something about that, y'all. That shit always happening. Like, something need to be done
Always
about
happen to the good ones,
that. Exactly. Like, I'm serious. Like, something really need to be done about that. Y'all don't like feel some type of way about that?
I do, cause I feel like I get discriminated every single day going to the hair store. People following me thinking I'm gonna steal something just because I feel like I'm black.
But like, I mean, like strictly in the schools though. Like, but it shouldn't be like that. That's your teacher.
Exactly.
She's supposed to
You should feel comfortable with like, yeah, like a teacher should treat every student the same, you know.
A child shouldn't have to worry about not being liked by the teacher
or
have to-
failing a class.
being picked on by the teacher because she the only black student in the class.
No, I'm serious, y'all. We really should come up with something for that. Like, that would be funny, like to put a stop to that. Because if it's just happening in her school, imagine how many other schools it's happening.
No, it's happening all around the world.
I believe it. So do you guys want to like sign a petition, like to see?
Like, I'm sure we should start a movement, y'all. Like, get a lot of people involved. Like, that would be great.
That would be real cool. We can get T-shirts and signs and like
We can
different
even run it.
schools.
We can even run it past off this year. I'm not sure if I help us out.
Mhm.
No, she down for the rest.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially for something like this.
Yeah, we got you down. We're gonna come up with something, okay?
What's your teacher name?
Miss Carol.
Okay.
Okay, we'll send it to Miss Carol.
Hello, class. Our documentary is on the social problem that is educational inequality. Educational inequality is the difference in the learning results or efficiency of different groups. These groups can span from racial groups, cultural groups, immigration groups, Hispanics, Blacks, Africans, Chinese, and they can also span from students with disabilities as well as students from different socioeconomic areas. Now, I'm going to give you a few statistics so you can see the evidence that is provided and the reason why educational inequality is such a large issue in the United States of America. All right, in each year from 1990 to 2012, the status dropout rate was lower for whites than for blacks and Hispanics. During this period, the rates for whites declined from 9 to 4%. The rate for blacks and Hispanics declined from 13 to 8%, while the rates for Hispanics declined from 32 to 13%. That gap is still pretty large, and it just so happens that the children that tend to be in lower socioeconomic areas are also blacks and Hispanics. So the same groups that are suffering from low graduation rates are also the same groups that are suffering from poverty and other issues associated with that. And our goal with this documentary is to shed light on the issues that provide the lower graduation rates and overall lower achievement rates for Blacks and Hispanics. I hope you enjoy this documentary, and I hope it pushes you to create action and keep protesting for policies and laws that push equality between our students in the United States of America, specifically African Americans and Hispanics. Thank you. All right, so my name is Sherifa Johnson, and as you know, we're doing this documentary on educational inequality. So I'm just going to let you introduce yourself and talk about your issue with this problem.
Hi, Sharka. My name is Ashley, and I'm currently a senior at Virginia State University. And a major problem I believe with educational inequality is, number one, the class sizes. For one, I feel like they're like classes that have like 50 plus students, and I feel like that's inequality right there. I mean, how can one student actually learn and have that one-on-one experience with the teacher versus a class size of, say, 20 or 10 students? And then what if you're unclear about something and you need that extra, the extra attention with the teacher, or even in a class full of 50 students, a student might be scared, to say they don't understand, and they might be scared to feel like the other students are going to joke with them, because they don't understand the question or understand what the teacher is teaching. So I feel like that's inequality right there. And usually you find the bigger classes in low poverty communities, and the lower classes, like classes with 10 students, in higher poverty communities. So I feel like that's inequality right there when it comes down to the educational system.
All right, so what type of advances can we do to lower class sizes in these lower economic areas?
For one, I just put the problem out there, because not many people even look at it like that. There's the class size being a problem. So for one, going to schools actually and seeing what the class sizes really look like, and making it known to the principal or the Board of Education, like, hey, this class size is too big. And actually do like research or a survey of grades of the students in that class. So how are your grades in a class with 50 students compared to grades of a class full of 10 students or 20 students? And I feel like that can help a lot.
Oh, where are you from? It's like you have an accent. I
I
haven't seen you around campus before.
was originally born in West Africa, Liberia, and my family moved over here when I was about 8 years old. But I was basically raised in Jersey.
Ooh, that one looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Handbook of Multicultural Counseling. Wow.
It seems like a pretty good book.
Yes, I wish my teachers read that book when I was in grade school and middle school.
Really?
Yes, I've had plenty of experiences with teachers who just didn't accept they didn't accept my darker tone skin, and because of that, they didn't even acknowledge me as being in the classroom. They didn't even acknowledge my presence at times. Like, for example, I had this one day, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in the classroom. Usually my teacher, I'm quiet in all my classes. So this one class, I don't know why the teacher didn't like me, but the teacher, she didn't really like me. And she would always say that I was the one causing the trouble, and I was the one causing all the mayhem in the class. Mind you, I'm always the quiet one.
That sound like you.
It wasn't, but it was another boy who was way lighter, borderline white in the class. He was the one who was really causing all the trouble, but she always put it on me.
Basically, I remember when I first came here at the age of 8, going to school. I remember my brother used to get in a fight every single day. Like, not a day go by my brother wouldn't get in a fight. Like, my parents had to go up to the school because he looked different, he talked different, he didn't fit in. I was basically kind of quiet and shy. I always was afraid of raising my hands in class. I was afraid of asking questions. And the kids used to look at me like, do she talk? Can she talk? Because just because I was from a different country, I told my mom, I don't want to stay here. I want to go back. Because I didn't dress like them. I didn't talk like them. So they felt like it was something wrong with us. Like, oh, they from Africa. Oh, do you not wear shoes? Oh, do you not wear clothes? Do you guys walk around naked? What do you guys eat? Do you guys live in a house? Like, just ignorant stuff. I mean, it's nothing wrong with asking questions, but like for you to assume that we don't eat, like what do we eat, or we don't walk around with shoes on, that's just being ignorant. So I'm just like, basically I definitely did feel discriminated, and even like I feel like the teachers didn't even help like introduce me to my class. They would be like, oh yeah, this is Ruth Taylor, she's from Africa. I feel like that's just not the way to go about it, introducing like especially little kids or middle school kids just not being educated on things like that. Like, so basically I really did feel discriminated. It took me some while to adjust to the American culture, but definitely.
So how did that make you feel? I mean, that has to be pretty like difficult.
Well, as a child, it was pretty difficult because I couldn't understand what it was about me that my teacher didn't like. I couldn't understand why she didn't like my skin complexion. So, of course, that caused me to have, low self-esteem and to feel insecure about who I was. But as I grew older, I understood that it was just society. It wasn't just her worldview, and it wasn't just her ideology, but that's the ideology of many who think that because you have darker skin, you're inferior to everybody else, which really isn't the case.
So, I mean, that's pretty sad that you deal with that in school, somewhere where you should be safe mentally and physically. That should be a place where you can develop.
Definitely. But what I realized is a lot of these teachers, they just in it for the paycheck. They don't really care about the well-being, or the feelings of the child. They don't have the passion to teach. It's just for the money. It was just something for them to do. So that's what they did.
That needs to be fixed. That problem. That needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it's sad.
Hi. This documentary was a way to show how us as female students face inequalities and injustice throughout our public schooling as students. This was a way for us to show how we are facing racism and inequality throughout the school system in our own personal way. My name is Sunday McPoint. I'm a senior graduating in May, a social work major.
My name is Shanique Williams. I am a psychology major and an upcoming graduating senior.
My name is Jasmine Gates. I'm a social work major and I'm a sophomore.
All right, my name is Sherika Johnson. I'm a social work major and I'm a junior.
My name is Ruth Taylor, and I'm a social worker, and I'm also graduating in May.
My name is Ashley Ford. I'm a psychology major and I'm also graduating in May.
I'm Dominique Young. I'm a 11th grade at Lisa High, and I'm still facing racism.
This concludes our documentary.